Okay, the story of my new beer fridge. Front ceiling versus rear ceiling taps. This is a standard old school beer tap, and it's called rear ceiling because the valve is back here at the rear of the tap. So as it sits now, between pours, this is all empty and air. And as I just found out, I just dumped a beer because I poured a beer and there were like 5 little wee tiny flies in it, like fruit flies, and I figured out they must have been up inside the mechanism. So people invent it. That's not a big issue in a bar because of constant use. Home use, even a heavy drinker, that's still a lot of time where if there's air in here and you just put beer through it, we just learned it attracts flies, but we also know that that's where mold and different things like that will build up for home use. So people invented a front ceiling tap. Now this is going to be hard to demo. The seal is right up in the elbow here. And this thing, all the mechanism stays wet the whole time. So the beer comes right up through here and it stops at the seal, which is where my thumb is moving. And so the mechanism stays wet. You still have a little bit of room for flies to gather, but actually some models you can screw this whole tap off the end to give it a good rinse, and then you can see the sealing mechanism right there. I used to have some of those, but I sold them off because I haven't had a beer fridge in a long time. So this is considered better. Perlick was one of the first patents for it. So this is actually a Perlick tap, and that black handle screws onto here, obviously. So that gives you a bit of schooling, and I just discovered firsthand. I just poured a beer out because there was, like I said, a bunch of flies in it, and the only thing I figured is they must have been living up in that tap. So now I got to figure out a way with a syringe to squirt that out and a glass underneath to clean it out, I guess. So I'll invent that next until I get a chance to. I've got to clean these. I just bought them off a guy used, 25 bucks each. See the P for Perlick there. Anyway, so until I get those on, I've got to figure out a way to clean this now. There you go, front ceiling versus rear ceiling taps.